Okay, good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Somerville City Council, this 13th day of December 2021. First of all, I'd like to welcome our guests this evening and move right into tonight's agenda. The first item on the agenda would be consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held on November 22nd of 2021.
Move to approve and waive the reading.
Second.
Okay, council, we have a first and a second. The motion was to waive the reading. Are there any changes or amendments to the minutes as they were presented in your packet? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. I don't believe we've got a guest speaker tonight. She's on the agenda.
That is all we have.
Okay. Okay, no public comment tonight. The next item on the agenda is Somerville Public Library update. And we're honored to have the board chair, Marlo Hornsby. So Marla, if you'd come to the podium.
Hello. So, I came tonight to ask if you could recommend Nicole Berkman to be on our board to serve a 2-year term. We're excited about Nicole. She's been on our board previously, and we are believing that she's going to be a valuable advocate to the library. So moving on, we're hiring a director. So if you guys have any ideas, that would be awesome. Our ideal candidate will be have a passion for libraries and public library services, and who will want to grow our library and our community through things at the library and also outreach programming. So we have the full job description on our Facebook page and website, and then you guys are helping me work on putting it on Indeed this week. So I had some calls from some of your people today. So moving on, we have received $5,000 from the Nicholas County Community Foundation. We're very appreciative of their support. They not only supported our library, but they also supported the other 2 libraries in our county. So we used that additional funding to replace our gutter system, which hopefully will allow our roof to last a little longer. So we're very excited about that. And thank you, Mayor Schaefer, for your assistance with that as well. The library received several grants. One in particular for our children's books would be the Steve and Martha Davis funds. So we're going to be having new books for kids. So if you have children or grandchildren, please come to the library and see what we have. Nicholas County Schools also assist the library with funding. We're using a portion of that for the summer reading program. It's typically an event that is well attended, especially in light of COVID. It's very important for children to be getting out in the community and doing some different things because they've kind of been shut in. And I really feel like that's an important piece for children at this point. So moving on to that, we have a story walk, How to Catch a Snowman, and it's between the library and the college. So if you guys have a minute, bring your kids, grandkids, go out and read the story. It's on the board, so it's been pretty. Mount Nebo Elementary School provided ornaments to decorate our library Christmas tree. We've made treat bags, so you can visit the library and get those, check out a book. The city continues to assist us with keeping our parking lot in order. The latest thing that they've done is they have helped us with painting the lines in the parking lot. The Day Reporting Center continues to help us by mowing and outdoor maintenance. We want to remind Summersville and the county that we are open for business. So you can use the computer. We have passports. I think people are starting to travel maybe a little bit now. So you can get your passport renewed, fax, copying. Of course, check out our books. We have ebooks, audiobooks. We also have obtained a grant from the Nicholas County Community Foundation, and we're going to have larger print books. That's something that we get asked a lot, is to have larger print books. So we're excited about the new ones we are getting in, and then audio collections. So I'm sure you guys are driving around a lot, so you don't want to pay for that Audible, so you can just come to the library and write your book. The exciting thing that we are getting ready to have happen at the library is that we are in the beginning phases of creating a new space for the children's area. So I don't know if you guys have been to the library for a while, but as you know, you walk in, the children's area is just right there, and it's somewhat of a small space. And then we have juvenile collections and so on and so forth throughout the rest of the library. But we are hoping to expand and have the upstairs be a complete children's area. So what we're asking for the public is that they tell us what they would like to see there, what your kids would want, what your grandkids want, things, you know, we want to make it a magical place that kids want to come there. They get lost in the book. We have some other ideas, so we are in the process of securing that funding. So we definitely want input from the public about, you know, how that's gonna look. So we hope to make it very magical. So that is the update from the library. Does anybody have any questions?
On your Audible books, do you have any business books, personal growth, all those kind of things? Do you have any of that?
I'm not sure exactly of our collection, but I know that we have a wide array of collection of books. So if you call, it's 872-0844, and ask one of the library assistants, 0844.
Okay. Thank you.
They will help you with that.
Okay, any other questions? Marla, you're currently trying to hire a new director,
Yes.
and how long will that job be posted? Or like, is there a deadline on it?
We are conducting the beginning interviews that we've had a few people apply on December 23rd,
Okay,
but I mean, you know, we're just gonna keep it.
it's
open
still
until we
posted
find that
until you
right-
find the right person. Okay, good deal, good deal. Okay, any other questions, council? Marlo, thanks for that update. Now, I guess the next item on the agenda would be to appoint Nicole Workman to the Somerville Public Library Board for a 2-year term, filling the unexpired term of Bridget Neal.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, we got a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Thank you, Marlo.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate, Marlo, appreciate everything you do and the board and of course the employees too. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Okay, council, the next item on the agenda is the second reading of the ordinance to approve the current replacement pages of the Somerville Codified Ordinances. And I would ask the city recorder, I should have given you some heads up, to please read that document. I had a request from a citizen that follows us and wants to know what's in that document. So we'll just publicly read it here due to the fact that it's not too long. Yeah, just this. Yeah, just basically, I mean, yeah, read it, but that highlights what's being updated. And of course, it's it's being updated by Walter Drain, who is a company that has been affiliated with the city contractually long before even my arrival. And their profession is, what they do is they keep a constant eye on state statute and our ordinance to make sure that if something changes state law, our ordinances comply. So if you just read what, yeah.
Okay. All right. An ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Somerville Codified Ordinances, which, by the way, I just want everybody to know, I keep that on hand at any time. Anytime anybody wants to see that, I take those and Amy helps me. We keep our books updated, so anytime you need anything like that, you can come up and take a look at it. Whereas certain provisions within the codified ordinances should be amended to conform with current state laws required by law. And whereas various ordinances of a general and permanent nature have been passed by council, which should be included in the codified ordinances. And whereas the city has heretofore entered into a contract with the Walter H. Drain Company to prepare and publish such revision which is before council. Now therefore be it enacted and ordained by the council of the city of Somerville that the section 1, that the ordinances of the city of Somerville, West Virginia, of a general and permanent nature as revised, codified, rearranged, and consolidated into component codes, chapters, articles, and sections within the 2021 replacement pages to the Somerville Codified Ordinances are hereby approved and adopted. Section 2, that the following sections are hereby added, amended, or repealed as respectively indicated in order to comply with current state law. Under Traffic Code 345.18, special restrictions on lights was amended. 345.25, tire equipment restrictions was amended. 345.35, operation of vehicles with safety belts was amended. Under General Offenses Code, 501.05 or 05, impersonating an official or law enforcement officer was also amended. 501.99, administration and law enforcement penalty was also amended. 521.04, unlawful sale or possession by alcoholic licensee was amended. 521.07, acts prohibited by non-intoxicating beer license was also amended. 521.09, acts prohibited by private club licensee was amended. 521.11, acts prohibited by wine dealers was also amended. 521.14, hard cider was added. 545.01, weapons and explosives definitions were also amended. This ordinance shall become effective from and after its date of passage. We've had a first reading, this will be the second reading and adoption.
Okay. So now that our city recorder has read the ordinance as requested, I will entertain a motion, and of course this is the second and final reading.
Move to approve.
First,
Second.
and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. We have adopted the new, or actually what we've done is brought our ordinances in compliant with state statute. Okay, the next item on the agenda is for notice only. Council, the meeting December 27th, which is the week between Christmas and New Year's, I'm officially canceling, so there will be no City of Somerville City Council meeting on December 27th. Moving right along, the next item is Recorder's Report.
Mayor, thank you. I just want to report that the planning and zoning is currently working on the comprehensive plan and getting right down to the very end. I have had Amy send out emails to everyone. If you did not receive an email, and even if you would like a hard copy of that, we can do whichever way you would like. But we do have a survey that he's asking for our help on, just to make sure that he's putting it in an order that we're comfortable with and how we would like to move forward on some things. The computer version is fairly simple. You just pull it up and it's got boxes and you just check the box. So it's relatively easy. But I would like to hear from the city council on that, and I'd like to see them participate if you can, if at all possible. I know it's mandatory with the planning and zoning, but as many people as we can hear from, it would be great. We need as much input as we can get on that. I'd like to see if I'd like to have that done and performed by the end of the week. It would be nice if we could wrap it up by Thursday or Friday at the latest, so we can get it back in his hands and he'll have time to work on it. So if you did not get it and you need it, you can call me, or you can even call Amy. She'll be glad to send it back out to you. No problem at all. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, good deal. Okay, council, just want to remind you, and again, this is for city employees and city council only, this Thursday, 7:30 at the conference center. You probably got a call, is our city breakfast. So just wanted to remind you about that. Also, council, I'm going to pass down some correspondence. These are some Christmas cards that the city of Somerville received. Just pass those down so that you can view them. Also, just another kind of an activity yet that's still left on the docket before the month is over. The Arena and Conference Center movie night is, of course, this Friday night. Kicks off at 6 p.m. with a story by the mayor. And then it's the highlight is, of course, they're going to watch a movie, Arthur Christmas, and then the big highlight of the evening is arrival of Santa and Mrs. Claus. That's all at the Somerville Arena and Conference Center this Friday, and it starts at 6 p.m. The other thing I want to do, it's not on the agenda, I usually do, but the request came in after the agenda was set, but it's a mayor and appointment, so I'm just going to put it in mayor comments. Because it is an appointment by the mayor. and I should have asked you before the meeting, I assume because the request came that you were willing to be reappointed to the MTA board, is that correct?
Sure.
So anyway, I am officially reappointing as a mayor appointment on the MTA board, Wayne Halstead, for a term that will end on June 30th of 2024. So Wayne is being reappointed to serve for the city of Somersville on the MTA board of directors for a 3-year term. Council, let me give you an update of the water situation. Excitedly, contractor's going to move in tomorrow and start digging the pit. I will tell you that we had a bid opening. The low bid came in at $107,000. The next closest bid was $177,000. Unfortunately, before we executed the low bid, there was a misunderstanding that we had a 30-day requirement that it had to be completed. So then we went into some serious wrangling so that we didn't have to kick to the second bid, which was $177,000. We've got a driller pulling off of a job that will incur penalties of $25,000 for doing so. But because of our situation and our emergency need and the fact that we're losing 35 to 50 gallons of water per minute, we figured it was best. I've given the green light to go ahead and pay the $25,000 penalty. So now that brings our job to $132,000, which is still significantly lower than the $177,000. And the driller will be in tomorrow to get staged, and the pit dug to drill, and the boring under Route 19 will actually start on Wednesday. It's estimated that it could take up to 5 days to complete the job. But if we hadn't done that, the earliest that we could have, that we were hoping for, well, the earliest that the contractor could get in here would have been the first week of January, and I just couldn't even imagine that. You know, we're still, say a prayer every night that line don't completely break, because if it does, then we've got serious issues. But excitingly, things are full speed ahead, and we'll start tomorrow, and with you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 days will be completed. The way we're going to do it, there should be very little disturbance in water. Quite frankly, there will be one business that could potentially be without water the longest period of time, and I'm hoping that's not going to be more than a half a day when we actually make the switch. But anyway, that job is well underway, and let me tell you what a relief it will be when it's completed, because we'll no longer have to worry about the issues that we've had with that water line, with the depth and just all those crazy things because of how far that line is underground. So let's pray we can get through this about another week, and we'll have the brand new line in there, brand new line board under 19, and we won't have to deal with these issues ever again. The other thing I want to do, council, is I want to let you know, as you all are aware, I've had a meeting set up, supposed to take place about a month and a half ago. This Wednesday, I will be meeting with the new colonel of the Army Corps of Engineers from the Huntington District on Wednesday, and in a very positive way. I was planning on to pack myself to Huntington, and he called and said, "Mayor, I'd like to come to Somersville." So I'm actually going to meet with him here in Somersville, and he wanted an opportunity to get down and examine what's taking place at the lake from the standpoint of their reinspection. He kind of wanted to get on site, so I got a call and said he'd like to come this way. So he'll be in town on Wednesday, and I've got a good meeting scheduled with him, and hopefully we can get through some of our concerns and reset our partnership. So I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. The other thing, council, I'd like to do is let you know that we've gotten some correspondence, some thank yous. We got a thank you from Mountain State Baptist Church. As you all know, that was a very successful event. And, you know, I put things in perspective. You know, it was not only a partnership with the city, it was a partnership with the county and many, many businesses. And you know, the excitement and the outreach of people to say how awesome that is that a small town will allow that and you know, do something like that. Of course, all the credit goes to Mountain State Baptist Church and their church family. I will tell you that, there was some concerns vetted my direction relative to traffic. And quite frankly, there's a real strong possibility they're going to do it again next year. And I put things in perspective. This is a one-night, one-a-year deal. And yes, it caused some traffic congestion downtown. But there's just really no way to resolve it. There's just a lot of people that came. It was a positive thing. Once they got through it, everybody had a positive experience. I apologize to anybody that wasn't interested or didn't participate in the drive-through nativity that was inconvenienced. But when I put things in perspective, I think it's good to allow things like that in our community. And I just sometimes put things in perspective to the degree that, think about what was going on in our community Saturday night, and then I think about those communities in Kentucky and Missouri, and I put things in perspective real quick. We don't have anything to complain about. We're blessed. So anyway, kudos to them. They, in a big way, have thanked us. And quite frankly, I believe they'll be back next year. And I just thought it was a great production and a lot of hard work went into it. Also, council, we got a big thank you from 4-H'ers. As you all know, we pay the youth, pretty much all of the youth activity fees at the county park. And so the 4-H'ers sent us this big thank you for their support. So, it's certainly pretty admirable when somebody gets a donation from us and they take the time to put something like that together, and it was done by the kids. The last thing I would like to say before we move into executive session is I would like to just highlight this last week we had I guess you call it a celebration for Francine Brown. At the end of the month, she's retiring. Francine gave a decade plus of dedication, to her job here at City Hall, and quite frankly did an excellent job. Had a real pleasant run with her, and she's decided to retire and go spend time with the family and the grandkids. So we wish her well, and again, publicly I just wanted to recognize that we thank her for her many years of service to the city of Somerville, and by golly, go have a good retirement. That concludes the mayor's report. Any council reports or comments?
We have one more Sunday at Brown Oaks for Christmas at Brown Oaks.
Yep, one more Sunday. This Sunday, 1 to 6. 1 to 6. Last open house at Brown Oaks, and it's a real beautiful treat. Been decorated, and you can also pop in the new city sleigh and take a great photo sitting out in front of Brown Oaks. So, yep. Anything else?
This past weekend, Somerville Youth Athletics had their annual fundraiser for our sports programs for youth. It was record night on sales, revenue. Don't have exact numbers as of yet, but want to thank our community, individuals, and businesses who helped support that, and all those folks that helped make it possible. That's the city, our board members, and any of those folks that volunteered. We had quite a few of those this year. Just a really good thing to help us get back on track to fund those events for those kids this year. So that was good, really good thing. A lot of good stuff going on this past weekend.
Exactly, busy weekend. Stevie, so back to you and the athletic board, or the Summersville Athletic Youth Board. Thanks to you all for what you do. It was a successful event. We certainly appreciate you all, and that is a needed event, or a needed organization. Our community been around for a long time. You do a great job in supporting the extracurricular activities that we all know how important are to our youth. And then in highlighting all your good work, I would also like to say, just for the evening, and you mentioned it, but really highlight a tremendous amount of work went into that event to support them by the Somersville Arena and Conference Center, Marianne and her crew.
As always.
Yeah, and they did a phenomenal job. So it was a great evening, big turnout. I think people are ready to get back to normal, but thanks to the Somersville Youth Athletic Board and all they do for our community through that organization. Okay, anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
And we do it under the authority of West Virginia Code for legal, personnel, and deliberative matters. Matters not considered public record.